What up homies, and welcome back to another video. Normally, I'd say achievements are impossible, but today we're playing Untitled Goose Game. In this game, we're a goose with a to-do list of random objectives to complete on each level. Untitled Goose Game has 25 achievements based around natural story progression, beating the levels under a certain time, and a variety of secrets. Normally, I would give myself a bonus achievement to go for by the end of it, but after beating the whole game, I realized that the game was quite linear, so I'm not including it as a part of the Achievements Are Impossible series. I actually want to start branching out and making different types and different styles of achievement hunting videos and see if something else may work better. With all that said, I did try to think of a more difficult achievement, but with the game being so straightforward and having so few controls, it was really difficult to come up with something that wouldn't make the challenge itself be impossible, defeating the whole purpose anyways. We start off the game learning the controls and more importantly learning how to. We end up crossing a river to find a bench, and the entrance to a garden with a man tending to it. The game gives us a list of tasks to complete in the area. Some are to terrorize the day, and others are just to be funny goofy haha. In this area, we break into the garden, get the groundskeeper wet, steal the groundskeeper's keys, make the groundskeeper wear his sun hat, put the rake in the lake, have a picnic, and make the groundskeeper hammer his thumb. When the groundskeeper strikes his thumb, he falls back and opens up his door, leading us to the next area. This unlocks the achievement, the garden. Instead of moving on, we stay in the garden and reset the area, as there's a bonus achievement for each section to complete them within 7 minutes. After a few tries, we get a run that was almost ruined by the groundskeeper spinning in a circle, but we snag the radio from him and throw it back into the picnic area for the garden, but quickly. Along with the timed achievements for each area, there's also a few secret achievements. In the garden, we managed to lure the groundskeeper outside, steal his keys, and shut the gate behind us. This locks the gatekeeper out, unlocking Nasty. The last achievement for this area requires us to steal a cabbage and put it in the picnic area. This one is a bit tricky as the cabbage is too heavy to pick up, so we have to use our feet and our wings to roll it over. Luckily, the groundskeeper is blind, and we earn Yummy. The next area is called the High Street, and it's a small street with a couple of stores and a local vendor. Our tasks are to break the broom, so we steal the vendor's broom and fight with her until the head pops off from the stick. There's a boy that runs around the street and he fears us when we honk and runs for his life. We scare him into a photo booth and he locks himself in. A nearby TV store owner comes by to try and help, but instead, we ran inside the TV store and put ourselves on TV. We then torment the boy some more and untie his shoes, causing him to fall. We steal his glasses and put glasses from the vendor near him, making him wear the wrong pair of glasses. We also steal the boy's toy plane and put it in the shop so that he has to buy it back from the vendor. Lastly, a garage opens and we manage to lure the vendor inside and lock her in, unlocking the next area and the achievement, the High Street. Now, as if we haven't tormented the boy enough, we trip him again and he falls into a puddle, unlocking Ghastly. We also scare him into the garage and lock him in for the Dreadful achievement. We manage to stack a bunch of objects on the weight scale in the vendor's shop and unlock Noisy. We also manage to steal an umbrella and open it up in the TV shop, unlocking Unlucky. And lastly, we managed to do all the objectives in under 7 minutes, unlocking the High Street, but quickly. The next area we enter is called the Back Gardens, which is made up of 2 neighbors' backyards. Here we give the lady's vase to the man, as the man has a primal instinct to launch anything across the yard that isn't his. We steal the man's accessories and give them to the lady to dress up her statue. We hit the lady's giant bell in her yard to make the man spit out his tea. We steal the bow off the lady's goose statue and replace ourselves with the statue for her to put the bow on us. We steal both the man's slippers so he walks around barefooted. We take his slippers and all the clothes from the lady's drying rack and throw them into the water. Lastly, we set up the lady to chop up the man's super long rose, unlocking the back gardens. This section was a pain in the butt to do quickly, with the amount of back and forth between gardens and having solid manipulation of the neighbors. After so many attempts, we get a sense of how they prioritize fixing things and what objects they like to go for instead of other objects. And if we can't get that to our advantage, then we might as well just reset. Just the cycle for stealing both slippers took 1 minute out of the 7. Eventually, we got a good run unlocking the back gardens, but quickly. While this area does have secret achievements, we should complete our final section first to have access to all the areas, as the remaining achievements are sequences across multiple sections. The final area is called the pub, which has an outside deck for a restaurant and a lower garden with a play area. First, we break into the pub by hiding in a box and having a delivery person take us inside. We torment an old man by making him break a dartboard and sweeping out his chair from under him. We then meet the only 2 people in the whole game that like geese and put on a little show for them. Once the show's over, they give us a flower. We overflow a sink to steal a toy boat and grab some items from the restaurant to set up a picnic in the alley. In the alley, there's a tray of tomatoes. We take out some tomatoes and make a trail to lure the burly bodyguard out back. He starts picking them up and we quickly drop a bucket on his head. Now we have some time to spare, and we immediately take a cup from the restaurant and run it back through the entrance of the pub and down to the river. We drop the cup in the river and unlock the achievement, the pub. Just like the previous levels, we retry this until we do all the objectives under 7 minutes to unlock the pub, but quickly. I didn't get it on the recording, but when the bucket fell on the burly man's head, it caused him to stumble and squish all the tomatoes in the tray. He then opens the dumpster and throws the tray out, which opens our escape. This leads us to the final section, where we find ourselves in a model village of the whole game. This part was an interesting twist, and it was fun to pick up characters that gave us a hard time throughout the game. Eventually, we get to a church with a golden bell that's cracking away. We peck at it and literally rip out a structural beam, causing the building to collapse. We take the bell and get an objective to bring it back home. But where's home? This achievement to go for by the end of it, but after beating the whole game, I realized that the game was quite linear. We learned that running, bending, or turning too quickly with the bell will cause it to ring obnoxiously, and every character wants to take the bell. After a few close calls, we managed to get the bell back to home base. Upon dropping it in the pit, the credits play and we unlock the most wholesome achievement, "Thank you for playing our video game." Now that the story's done, we're left with 9 secret achievements. The 10th remaining achievement is an achievement for having all the other ones. So we get going by stealing a tool from the gardener and bringing it to the shop. We lead the groundskeeper to the shop and he buys back his own tool for the achievement, Devious. Next, we take the boys' soccer ball and walk it into the following area and scored a goal for the Nimble achievement. While we're in the area, we grab the ribbon and get it put onto ourselves and head over to the pub. We then put on a show for the 2 diners again, unlocking Elegant. Since the show gave us a flower, we decide to start collecting all 5 flowers. There's 1 in each area, including the model village. We bring the flowers to the flower basket in the center of the map and unlock Beautiful. We head into the pub as we normally would, and we make the old man fall down. When he's on the ground, we steal his hat for the Cheeky achievement. Then we take the toy boat as we normally would and drop it over the backside of the bridge into the river to unlock Lovely. As we head out of the pub area, we take the box with us to the neighbor's yard. We hop in the box and have the man throw us over the fence for Intrepid. We head back to the vendor and get ourselves a toothbrush, a pair of glasses, and the groundskeeper's hat. We take the items to the statue in the lady neighbor's yard so she can dress him up with outside objects. This unlocks Pretty, and we get the last two achievements at the same time. We take some socks and the bow from the lady's yard and give it to the man. When he throws them over the fence, we stand on the other side and catch one of them in midair for the Careful achievement. Since that was our final task, we also unlocked a secret prize, which followed by the prompt saying there was something special waiting for us at our house. We head home and discover a present with a golden crown inside. I would have loved to wear it, but the best I could figure out is how to drag it around and fling it. That's all for the achievements, homies. Thank you for watching, and if you liked this style of video compared to my previous, let me know. If you didn't, also let me know. I've got a couple different pockets working in the background that I'm excited to show all of you, and I would love to get your feedback.